Yo, what's going on, young investors, and welcome back to the channel. Without a doubt, today's video is the most important video I've made to date. You guys know I'm always looking out for you. Like I mentioned before, we're a team. And because we're a team, I decided that today's video was not only important, but crucial to make. Every single one of you guys watching this video right now absolutely need to educate yourselves on how to protect your assets. It doesn't even matter if you don't even have much right now. We need to be thinking 10, 20, 100 steps ahead if we can. And keep in mind, you can literally be sued for just about anything. Imagine working long days or even longer nights to build your businesses and your assets, only for all of it to be taken away from you by a simple mistake. I know I might be coming off as exaggerating, but trust me, I'm not playing. The original owners of McDonald's had their entire business taken away from them because they didn't properly protect themselves legally. Protecting your money and your assets is something very rarely talked about, especially for us young investors or for anybody really that doesn't come from wealth. It's always earn, or go get that money. But what happens after you get it? More money equals different types of problems. I'm telling you. You need to start to learn how to protect yourselves legally. I promise somebody's eventually gonna try and take whatever you've built. I'm about to give you all a straight game. All I ask for in return is a simple like. It helps the channel grow, and it also lets me know that you guys are all enjoying the content that I'm putting out for you. You already know I appreciate all of you, and without further ado, let's get into the gems in today's video. The very first way the rich and wealthy protect their assets is through an LLC, or a limited liability company. An LLC is essentially a shield. It protects all of your assets. It's also a separate entity, which basically means it's considered its own real person under the eyes of the government. And because LLCs are considered a separate entity under the eyes of the government, they can buy stocks, real estate, or any other assets just like you and I can. LLCs can even own other LLCs, which is called an umbrella of LLCs. But that's a rabbit hole I'm not gonna get into in today's video. So, I want you guys to think about something for a minute. I want you to think of all of your assets as a money safe. And when you have that money safe in your name, it's wide open for anybody to come take through court. To be honest with you, you're essentially free game at that point. Now, with an LLC, you'd be guarded because technically your assets and yourself are separate. You see, the rich and wealthy don't have a lot of stocks or real estate to their name on paper. Rather, they'll buy all of their assets through their LLCs, or they'll just transfer them into their LLCs, those of which they have full control over. Now, not only do they protect themselves legally, they also get to write off anything having to do with their respective LLCs. I want you guys to remember this. If somebody comes for you legally, you'd be much more protected if you have all of your assets under something like an LLC. There's really laws out there that prevent people from taking all of the assets inside of an LLC. Let's say for example purposes, you rear end somebody with your car and they end up injured. So, in return, they decide to sue you for what you own. So, the person's lawyers are eventually going to see that you have LLC set up for all of your assets, and them knowing how hard it is to seize assets from an LLC would much rather go for a cash settlement instead. To put things into perspective for you guys, owning all of your assets to your name is like leaving your house and leaving the front door wide open for anybody to come in. Look, at the end of the day, you don't want ownership because that puts you in a vulnerable position. At the end of the day, what you really want is control. Control of your assets with limited liability to your name. Hence, a limited liability company. I'm not sure if you guys know this, but the family that owns Walmart, the Waltons, actually operate most of their stores through their LLCs. And Bill Gates, the co-founder of Microsoft, also has his own LLC that owns most of his assets. And the craziest thing is, a lot of the things the wealthiest of people use to protect themselves aren't exclusively only for them. Anybody of age has the opportunity to open up an LLC and protect themselves legally. The thing is, nobody teaches us because nobody teaches our parents or our parents' parents. It's up to me and you watching now to spread this valuable information so that we too can start to benefit from the opportunities that are already available to us, like stocks or LLCs. Knowledge is potential power. I want you to remember that. And so, next up on our list, irrevocable trusts. Irrevocable trusts can be used to pass down assets to the next generation, but they are also used to protect assets from creditors. An irrevocable trust has a settlor, or somebody that made the trust, a trustee, or a third party, and finally, a beneficiary, or somebody that's going to inherit the assets inside of the trust. Now, the reason there's a trustee, or a third party, is so that the person that started the trust technically doesn't have full control on paper. If there's no third party and the person that started the trust has complete control of the assets inside of the trust, a judge can then make him or her change the beneficiary to whoever's suing. You see, with a third party in the trust, the person that originally made it now doesn't have full control, technically. And now, the judge can't make him or her do anything because control is split two ways: the trustee or the third party and the original person that made the trust. This now creates asset protection. That's an irrevocable trust, and that's another way in which the wealthy protect their assets. Now, third on our list to protect your assets is something anybody can implement right now. And it's stop flaunting and showing off how much money you have on things like social media. You never see the real bosses doing this stuff. Think of Diddy, Jay-Z, Warren Buffett, all billionaires. You will never see them stacking money to their ears or dedicating entire Instagram videos to show off how much money they have. Don't play yourself. By doing these things, you put a target on your back. Keep your blessings to yourself, or at the very least, don't show them off to the public like that. It brings very unwanted attention. And remember, treat the money like secrets and keep it all to yourself. And so, last but not least, retirement accounts. Retirement accounts like Roth IRAs, 401ks, or regular IRAs are protected from the government from bankruptcies and creditors as well for up to $1.2 million. This basically means your retirement money is protected two ways: from bankruptcy and if somebody tries to take your assets. The wealthy play by a different set of rules, and the crazy thing is, the majority of their tools are available to all of us. We gotta keep learning and working hard. I highly recommend you guys do your own research on the topics that I talked about in today's video. The information that I found while doing my research seriously changed my perspective on a lot of things. And finally, like and subscribe to the channel, beat the odds, do the numbers, and as always, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Boom. Finished.
Do you like